Today on the Matador Lounge, 2 actors and coordinators from the AWC murder mystery this weekend.
Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to the Matador Lounge. I'm your host, Matt Brooks.
And I'm Ricardo Herrera.
Today on the show we have Matthew Canaday and Keishley Molina. Keishley is going to be an actress for the murder mystery, and Meat is directing it. So tell us a little bit about the duties that you've had so far.
So far, the duties I've had as director is I've had to pick the play, what we were going to do, cast and do auditions for the actors. And then after that was all set up, I had to then run rehearsals. And as you know, Mateo, sometimes you got to hunt the actors down because, they say they're going to show up, the conflicting schedules. So most of my duties have been trying to get the actors more involved in the show and come to the rehearsals and generally just play and get involved and have fun with it. And lately we've been doing that really perfectly. And I feel the show this Saturday is going to be one of the best shows we've put on in a while.
So what play did you guys end up settling on?
The Tragic Murder Mystery.
And this is the first time you make a play like this?
This is the first time we've done a dinner theater, and from what I understand with the foundation people who is running it with us, if this play is successful, we will try to do one every year and maybe get this to be a tradition here at AWC where the theater, the foundation, and the culinary arts departments get together and we put a show on for the people.
So can you tell us a little bit about the plot of the play?
Well, I mean, the plot it's standard to most of these plots, but we picked the 60s themes because it goes well with the anniversary of AWC. So it's 60s themes, but it's like most plots. Somebody dies under suspicious circumstances, and there's a room full of suspects, and they try to see who killed this person, and the antics that are involved through that come along.
And how do you think the people is going to react to this play?
They're going to enjoy it because most of these shows are done, it's on stage, and they don't interact with the crowds. But we're setting it up where the actors will get involved with the crowd. If they're not in the scene per se, even though there's no scenes, they can interact with the crowds. We're going to set it up where the actors will sit at the table with the audience, and they'll conversate with them. So we're going to get the audience involved, and I think it will just be a blast.
So Keishley, you're going to be acting in it. How has the rehearsal experience been so far?
It's actually been really fun. I thought it was going to be more business than anything, and we would just rehearse our lines, or it's actually improv, so we just rehearse what we'd have to say. But it's been really fun. It's been a great experience because I've never done anything like this. So I've had a lot of fun with it, and the actors that I'm acting with are great. They're so much fun, and the director's awesome. It's going to be a great play.
So, and do you guys think this play is gonna be scary in some manners?
I don't think so. I don't think it'll be too scary. The way we set it up, there might be an explosion in the beginning of the show that might scare people, but in general, I don't think two people are gonna find it too scary.
Yeah, I ask you because you say it's mystery, so a lot of times mystery,
Yeah.
there's something scary, so that's why.
Yeah, the mystery we're doing, instead of the horror aspect, it's more of the who did it, the wondering side of the mystery, like it makes you think.
So how was the casting process?
The casting process, this is the second one I've been involved with. It went really smooth. We had a bunch of people came out. It was hard to choose who for the roles because we had a nice turnout, but to me it went smooth.
And how was your experience auditioning for this, considering it's the first time doing any kind of improv?
Oh my goodness, it was really. At first it was nerve-wracking, but I enjoy acting a lot. And once you get your first time out of the way, or once you get comfortable with yourself acting and being in front of people and trying to portray someone else, it's really fun, and especially when you get cast, it's an awesome feeling.
So you've done a little bit of acting before you got to AWC?
No, I
So
really
this
didn't.
this is all your first time. This is all
Yes.
first thing for you.
Yes.
So what made you choose to go into theater?
I've always enjoyed acting, but I didn't act in front of a crowd, or I never was in theater or anything like that. I was just with my friends, little skits, stuff like that. I didn't do anything professionally or or anything like that. It was just really fun for me, and I enjoyed it, and I've always wanted to be an actress. So I thought this was my chance.
So, and do you get any inspiration to make this mystery play? So something that inspires you to make this?
Truthfully, there was no inspiration why we chose to do a mystery play. We were asked, and when we were talking about it amongst the group at the theater, we just came up with the idea, let's do a murder mystery, because it's something we've never done, and a lot of the kids here have never experienced that. So we sort of just landed on doing the murder mystery. The reason we chose 60s was it fit well with AWC, but Chip Straley, the director of theater, I mean, he inspired us to choose 60s, because if you've ever seen Chip, he's always wearing tie-dye, and he's pretty much a hippie himself. So we were like, well, let's do something Chip can get really involved with. You know, he likes hippies.
And so was it easy to find a role for Chip? Because I know he was asking to be in it.
Oh, yeah. Yes, the play we chose, when we were going through the cast members for each character, one of the characters stood out so much, and like that was Chip. So it was really easy to cast him for that role. He's that essence of that character.
So Keishley, can you tell us a little bit about the character that you got cast as?
I am. Is it all right if I say the name of my character?
Sure.
Yeah, Enya Goddard Davida, and she's a Miss American like role model, and she's very classy, but on the inside she's a little bit crazy, so that makes her really suspicious, as she could be the murderess.
Of course, anybody could be.
Mm-hmm.
So, any books or movies about mystery do you like?
I personally like a lot of books about mysteries and movies. The old Clue with
Tim Curry?
Tim Curry, yes, was one of the best, I think, murder mysteries that fits what we're doing ever. We're actually going to watch that before this Saturday, just to give everybody something to aspire to. And mystery books, well, I like a lot of the Alex Cross books. I guess those are really big mystery. Then always Sherlock Holmes, some of the best mystery writing I've ever read.
Have you ever read Edgar Allan Poe's Raven?
Yes, Edgar Poe, some of his poetry. I mean, it's more on the horror side of mystery, but yeah, I've liked his work.
Because I don't read the book, but I see the movie. But for me, the movie was kind of confusing.
The movie was more of like portrayed as like a bunch of his works being used to kill people, but I mean, there's not really a book that's based off. I assume they just used a bunch of his works to make a really good movie, and it was really confusing. I didn't really understand too well.
So the murder mystery is going to be a fundraiser for the AWC Foundation.
Yes,
Tell us a little bit about who that benefits.
That benefits the Arts and Humanities departments. If I'm correct, it's the theater department's involved, the culinary arts department, the music department is involved. What it is we're helping raise money for scholarships. So it's going to help. Those departments, to me, are a little underappreciated, and they don't get a lot of help from the administration because they're some of the smaller departments. So this is going to boost that, and hopefully that will boost attendance into the departments.
So what do you guys think is gonna be the most? What you gonna enjoy the most about this play?
You want to take that one?
Enjoy as an actress, or
Yeah.
what the crowd is gonna enjoy.
Maybe it can be both.
Okay, well, as being an actor in it, I think it's more fun having the chance to become someone else other than yourself, and portraying that to an audience, and having to do that is actually a lot of fun, and I'll enjoy entertaining the crowd by doing that, and I think the crowd will enjoy the mystery or the question where, oh, that who could it be? Is it that person? Is it that person? Oh no, arguing or talking amongst themselves of the mystery of who the murderess is.
So,
And I think mostly what I will enjoy is watching your guys' very own Mateo Brooks do some acting in this as well, where I casted him as one of the characters. And for audience, I look forward to interacting with the audience and having fun with that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be participating in the show itself?
I won't be in the show, but I will just be there in general to talk and be with the audience.
And get some free food, too.
And get free food. We're always looking forward to some free chicken marsala.
I know the Culinary Club's working really hard to make a fancy kind of dinner.
Yeah.
so and what do you think will be the hardest part about this play?
The hardest part? Timing, because the show has rounds, and we got to get that timed perfectly with the food getting served and the other events they're doing. So the timing of getting all of the information that needs to be out will be the hardest thing. But the actors I have casted, I think, are getting that done really well.
And what about you, Keishley? What do you think will be the hardest thing?
I agree. I feel like the information that has to be put forth to the audience and having it be in between that time is going to be really hard. But that's why we rehearse, and I think it'll come out really, really great.
So you guys think you're ready for this weekend?
You know it.
Mhm.
All right,
it'll
cool.
be awesome.
All right, well,
Have you ever been depressed in the play?
Have I ever been what?
Depressed in the play?
No.
Like pressure or something?
No.
No?
I'm used to it.
That's cool.
Yeah,
it's-
I've felt pressure because it's been my first play, so I'm not used to rehearsal. I'm not used to having to, especially not improv, because it really has to come from you. You have to really become the character. So that was challenging for me.
all right.
All right.
Thank you for coming on, Keishley. We'll be right back after this. We're going to see a segment from David Vanny about campus life. We're having some technical difficulties right now. Please bear with us. Go ahead. So up next, we're going to be fixing this problem right now. Right now we're going to have Reilly come up. He's going to do a bit of guitar for us after the break and talk a little bit about the music that's going to be happening during the murder mystery. So you want to just play a little preview for us really quick?
Yeah. I'll do a little bit of a song by Creedence Clearwater Revival called Bad Moon Rising. It's been
tell
one
us
of
a
my
little-
favorites to learn so far.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about that song, like why you chose it, like what draws you to it.
Well, I've always really liked CCR. I grew up with that kind of stuff. I grew up with like Pink Floyd and the Eagles and CCR. So it's cool to get to like pay tribute to that part of the musical part of my childhood, where I just really got turned on to rock and roll and stuff like that.
Dude, you know about music. You know
Yeah.
how to play. Obviously, have you ever seen the rain?
What's that?
Do you know how to play? Have you ever seen the rain?
Oh, that's one of the ones we were going to work on, but unfortunately it wasn't. It was made in like the 70s, so we couldn't use it for this one. But we might just work on it to throw in our regular set list for shows around here. We all really like CCR. We all really like a lot of 60s rock and roll stuff.
I think all of us here do.
And we were
All right,
ecstatic
gonna-
when we got asked.
we're going to go to our video now. Thank you for bearing with us.
This is Campus Life, what's going on around you? This week's episode is about healthy eating, and I'm here with my guest, Roy Reyes, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about juicing. Tell us, Roy, what are we going to be juicing?
Well, David, today we're going to be juicing some kale, some cucumbers, a couple things of celery, 1/2 of a lemon, a little tiny bit of ginger.
That actually looks like a lot.
We're going to use a thumb size, about the size of my thumb right here. and 3 apples.
Is there a specific name for this combination? Or?
Yes, it's called the Mean Green. It's just that's the only name for it, just Mean Green.
And what are some of the health benefits for this?
Well, a lot of this is like micronutrition instead of macronutrition, which we get every day. Macronutrition being in fast foods and everyday meats and stuff. With this stuff, this is micronutrition, which is better for your body, helps repair a lot of the damage that you do every day with regular food, say meats or fast food or sweets. You do a lot of damage in there, and this will help repair a lot of that. This is also a better choice for you can use this drink to replace a meal.
So I can actually replace, let's say, breakfast or dinner with just drinking this combination.
Correct. It actually does fill you up, so you feel like you're full. Plus, it provides a lot of the nutrients that you're not normally getting. So your body's basically repairing itself with these nutrients, and it's filling itself up, so you're not taking in a lot of the bad stuff that you would normally take in.
And being as though we're juicing it, that's probably a lot easier to consume than to actually, eat all of this individually.
Yeah, your body does absorb it a lot easier than if you had eaten it when it goes down, because it's already in a juice form, so it doesn't have to force it to be a juice form in your stomach. So it just goes in easier.
So for the prep, we have to clean the vegetables and fruits?
Oh yeah, a major part of this is actually cleaning these vegetables. There's chemicals, there's wax on these, they keep them fresh.
Pesticides and stuff like that?
Pesticides, yeah, because they need to keep these things from dying. So they have to put these pesticides, they have to put this wax, and it's just better for your body if you just take a little fruit and vegetable cleaner and you just spray them on. A little bit, you don't need that much, and then you just work it in. Just wash it with this fruit and vegetable cleaner. It's taking off that wax. It's giving a nice greener look to these leaves, and you just wash it off with water. You gotta make sure you do this to both sides too, because this wax really needs to come off. You don't really want that in your body. You got yourself a healthy looking leaf right there. Okay, once these are all clean, what you're gonna do is with this vegetable in particular, you don't need to really use a knife on it. What you're gonna do is you're gonna tear it apart mostly. It just comes right off. You can just give it a nice tear. But make sure you do keep the stem, because the stem has a lot of nutrients in it too. A lot of people think that to avoid the stem, but in the stems of vegetables and fruits, these things have a lot of nutrients. If you're not eating these, then you're losing a lot of nutrients out of it. And here we go. This is the finished product. We actually add some ice to it. It's a little bit colder, and the colder is nice.
Mind if I try it?
Go for it. Give it a guess.
All right, while I'm trying this, I'm a little afraid actually, but while I'm trying this, can you make this with a blender?
You can, but you would need a strainer. It would be a lot more pulpy.
It's actually pretty good. I enjoy this. I might have to start switching to this. And what are some of the other added benefits to drinking this?
Well, like I said, you don't have to you're replacing it with a meal. So in fact, you're replacing it with a lot of those calories you would have been eating. So with this, you are losing weight too, and you're being healthy at the same time. So it's not like a crash diet where you're losing weight and doing it in an unhealthy way.
Wow, this is really good. If this is something that interests you, you can check out this website called juicerecipes.com for more juicing options.
We're back. I'm your host, Matt Brooks.
And I'm Ricardo Herrera.
And a little bit before the break, we talked about Bad Moon Rising, which Reilly is now going to play a little bit for us.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I see a bad moon rising. Well, I see trouble on the way. Well, I see earthquakes and lightning. Well, I see bad times today. Oh, don't go around tonight. It's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise.
Thank you.
That's really cool. So like, you casted Reilly to do some music for the murder mystery, right?
Yes, originally they had a CD and they wanted to do music off a tape, and I didn't feel right to do that. And then they said, "Well, what do you want to do?" I was like, "Well, we can get a live band." And they said, "Well, we'll let you do that." And I was thinking, I was like, "Well, I have a buddy Reilly. He has a band called Tiny Robots, and they put on fantastic live shows." So I approached him and asked him, "Would you mind being the band in the play for the murder mystery?" He said, "Sure." And now here he is.
Yeah, we were really like flattered to be asked to do this. It's cool, and it's been a really cool experience just going back and revisiting all this music. You know, a lot of it I recognize from my childhood, where I just didn't know how to play or I hadn't heard since I was a kid. So it was cool.
So how many years of experience you already have?
I've been playing guitar for about 8 years now, and I've been singing, I guess, on my own for a little less than that, like about 4 years.
And so you're naturally a live musician with your band and all. How was it starting out? Was there a lot of stage fright when you were first performing on stage?
I don't know so much about stage fright, but I was just really concerned with like showing up on time and making sure I played everything right, because I've always just been kind of I guess kind of an amateur. I'm a little bit sloppy, and even now after practicing a lot, I'm not quite the level of like professional, but I'm a little sloppy, and that's always been a concern for me live. I want to deliver the best live show that I can. And when I was first starting, it was just, I would play like 3-song sets because I didn't want to take up time. It's just like, oh, I'm a brand new band. I don't want to waste people's time. No one's here to see me. And I guess after about 2 years of playing with another band I was in called Associated Acts, we had somehow like gathered a fan base, and we were actually getting asked to play shows instead of asking to get on shows. So that was cool. That band kind of fell apart. I've been in a couple projects since then, and now I'm with Tiny Robots and a couple other projects around town.
And of course, Tiny Robots has a big following, and that's how Meat was attracted to you to put you on stage for this.
Yeah, we're lucky to have the fan base that we have. It's really endearing to me that many people are interested in our music. So it's always great.
So are the other members of Tiny Robots performing with you?
Yeah, we'll have our drummer and bass player, and we're having an extra member, a buddy of ours, Isaiah, is going to play keys or extra guitar, kind of just whatever we need.
Well, of course you'll need keys for 60s music.
Oh yeah, that was our first concern when we agreed to do this. Our drummer can play keys, but he can't do both at the same time.
Obviously.
So we just kind of had trouble, and we knew our buddy Isaiah, was a friend of the band for a while, so he just kind of, I guess he offered first before we were going to talk to him. So that was like, yeah, we've really been looking for someone, and he's got his own keyboard, so that helps a lot. Sometimes you get people who are like, oh yeah, I can play, but I don't have an instrument. So
who's your inspiration?
Well, I mean, for this specific performance, like I said, I really like CCR. I like Pink Floyd a lot. My mom has always been really into the Beatles, and so I listened to a lot of that growing up. And I think my favorite of the stuff we're playing is probably all of the CCR songs that we're playing.
So maybe your favorite guitarist is, let me guess, John Fogerty?
He's up there. I think my favorite of like not just 60s, just considering music, recent, and then is a guy named Thomas Eric. He was in a band called The Fall of Troy, and he's now in a band called Just Like Vinyl. And I think he just does some really, really insane stuff, because he'll play and sing at the same time, and just he can play stuff that it has taken me months to learn, and he plays it and sings at the same time just without even thinking about it.
So of all the songs that you've learned so far for this, what is the most fun for you to play on guitar?
Most fun for me to play on guitar. Maybe Born to Be Wild or Revolution. I like Revolution a lot by the Beatles. It's a fun.
Maybe you could show us one of our guitar riffs really quick.
And it's cool. Like I like that old bluesy style stuff, but I recently got like an old overdrive pedal that just makes your amp sound really old and rugged and gives it some gruff. So I get to use that for that song because it's got a real like distorted sound, and that's really, really fun for me because it gets a really cool old vintage tone.
So you're following music as a career?
I would really, if I heard your question right, am I following like a music career? I'd really, really like to, but I don't quite know how that's going to work out. You know, I'm in a lot of projects, and I do a lot with music. I play as many shows as I can. I promote as many shows as I can. I'd like to pursue a career in music, but I don't know how that's going to go yet. So I'm just kind of playing it by ear.
So this weekend you're going to be playing for a lot of, let's say, higher class members of Yuma, considering this is a pretty big event for fundraising. Are you excited are you excited for some of the opportunities that might arise from that? Because you got a lot of high rolling people.
Yeah. I'm always really excited to play for a new crowd. Like whenever I have a chance to play somewhere I haven't played, play for people I haven't played in front of before, I'm always really, really excited because that's a whole different perspective. That's a whole new opinion that I can get on, you know, how they think I sound. And that's always really interesting to me to hear, you know, what people think and play for different people and play in different places.
So in the future, you're planning to give a guitar class?
Oh, I'm, I don't know a whole lot about, I guess, like music theory. I don't know how to read music. I'm self-taught, and I have like imperfect and bad form, so I wouldn't want to teach someone that. But
there's a lot of iconic vocalists in the '60s. Has it been hard trying to emulate any of that?
Oh, it's really, really tough for me. The only reason I had some like gruff today when I was singing is because I've been sick for like a week, so my lungs have just kind of been on the fritz trying to get rid of stuff. So I kind of have a tough sound in my voice, and I'm hoping that kind of lasts till Saturday so that I can keep that up. Because without it, I guess I kind of have like a thin, I don't have a very manly voice. I have somewhat of a feminine range, so I'm hoping I can keep that to it, so I'll sound like a man for the 60s.
So, Meat, you excited for this weekend? You think Reilly's going to be awesome?
I think he is. The live shows I've seen him put on before have been pretty good, and this is just a live show with a chance for him to do some acting on the side. So,
all right, cool. Well, thank you guys a lot for coming in. We're going to remind you guys about our replay dates, which are 4 a.m. and 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. and 11 p.m. And this is daily. You can watch the show any day, Channel 74. So thank you guys for coming in. Reilly, for the credits, do you think you could play us a little song? Play us out?
Born to Be Wild.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever you want, man.
Just whatever.
Yeah, just whatever comes to your mind right now.
What comes to my mind right now. All right, cool. I'll just kind of strum something.